Thank you all for joining us at 7 a.m. Pacific time for May 3rd Entrepreneur Toastmasters Club. Today's theme is return on investment. And I'll let our Toastmaster of the day, April Gillis, take us into that. But before we get started, I just wanted to say that Entrepreneur Toastmasters Club is now President's Distinguished. Yay! We've got 9 of the 10 goals achieved, and all we need is a couple of more members, and we'll have 10 of 10. Isn't that wonderful? Our first year as a Toastmasters Club. It's exciting when each club achieves certain goals. And the other announcement I have is that our Vice President of Education would like to take a few moments and acknowledge those who have achieved some pathways levels. And is Rosabelle on yet? I didn't see her.
She's not here.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Dr. Valencia and Samiha and Nora. Oh, there's our Toastmaster. Okay, but
sorry.
before
Rosabelle is back. She's here now.
Okay. Well, let me say this before Rosabelle makes her announcements. We were asking members who would like to be a club officer for the next term starting July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024. And I'm pleased to announce the following nominations. And if there are any further nominations, we'll take those today at the end of the meeting, or you could email me and let me know if you are also interested. For president, we have Dr. Valencia Jones. For vice president of education, we have a nomination for Roz Carter. For vice president of membership, we have Rosabelle Young. For vice president of public relations, we have a nomination for Bond Wang. Doing a second year, I'm sure he'll be even more exciting with his creativity as he has been this first year. For club secretary, we have a nomination for April Gillis. Treasurer, we have the nomination for Charles Z. Radney. And for Sergeant at Arms, we have the nomination for Frankie Jones. Please give a round of applause for all of those who stepped forward with either self-nomination or were nominated by another member. As I said earlier, we will have a full election of those nominees, along with any others who might want to also put their name on the list on May 17th, our next meeting. So Rosabelle, please take us forward with the announcements that you have to make regarding educational awards. Rosabelle?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Well, we have a lot of members who have achieved many levels in one short year. And as you know, we already have achieved President's Distinguished level, which means many of us have given speeches and given our levels to this club, and I really appreciate that. We don't have an official ceremony, we don't have a physical meeting, but it is possible to present the awards here on Zoom. And so for those present and not present, I will share my screen and I will start presenting certificates with the highest level achieved in each of the paths you are enrolled in. Forgive me if I don't have the certificate. Sometimes it takes a few days for them to actually be available. And if you're using Legacy or the printed version of the paths, then it's even longer. It can take up to 2 weeks. So first, to Bond Wang, congratulations for achieving level 4 of engaging humor. And actually, this is your second path, I understand, right? So I don't have your first path proficiency certificate, but I believe you earned that last year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next for Taya Reed, level 1 of visionary communication. And thank you, Taya. We definitely need those level 1s. And Charles Radney, level 2 of innovative planning. And I think this is also your second or third path, or maybe even more than that, but you were in the legacy program and also achieved QS and other awards before pathways became available. And for Nora Jackson, level 4 of presentation mastery, but I think you've achieved level 5. I just don't have the certificate. Please let me know if it goes directly to you. Maybe I don't have it. Because you also have already started on effective coaching and have completed level 1. Here's the certificate for Nora Jackson. And April, level 3 of innovative planning. And let me see. So I'm sorry, April, are you here? I don't see. Oh, yes, okay. Congratulations,
Yes,
April. Okay.
thank you.
And Tommy Daniel, level 3 of strategic relationships. Boy, we're really covering all the different paths that are out there, because all of the programs and projects in Pathways apply to entrepreneurship. And Roz, our president, level 3 of visionary communication. And actually you're working on several different paths, I believe. And you've completed a path, but I wasn't able to get the path completion certificate.
Okay.
Can you tell us what other paths you've completed?
Dynamic leadership
yes.
and I forget the other one.
Innovative
Presentation
planning?
mastery, I think. Innovative planning, correct.
Okay. If you do have those certificates, please share them with our next meeting.
Okay.
And let me see if I have. And if you've completed them this year, I believe there is also a recognition for path completions
Right.
to the member and to the club, just as for our
Right.
distinguished. It's not part of the distinguished president's distinguished, but I think if on May 6th, Raj, do you know more about the events on May 6th? If there will be path completion recognitions for our district
No,
members?
I'm not on the committee, but it is this Saturday, everyone. The district conference is Saturday, May 6th. You should have received information from the district. If not, let me know and we'll forward that to you after the meeting.
Okay, and we'll be hearing the contestants who won at the division level.
Yes.
And I also am in Redlands community. And so we have Angie Nett, although she didn't enter as a Redlands Community Club member, and Connie Jameson, and several others are, I don't know if anyone else here is entering in the district contest.
Right.
There is going to be awards at the lunch during luncheon time, so just want to let you know that.
Now, is it where is it located, Frankie? Can you tell us the venue?
It's all on Zoom.
Oh, I see.
It's all on Zoom.
Oh, so the lunch will.
There will be awards given and DTM recognition and memoriams during the lunch hour. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but I just know it's happening.
Mhm.
Thank you, Frankie. Back to you, Madam President.
Okay, thank you, Vice President of Education, Rosabelle Young, for following up and keeping track of all the education awards that our members are achieving. You too, as you submit projects and do speeches in this club or another club you may be in, we want to recognize your efforts for being so involved with Toastmasters and the learning program. So now let's move into our meeting. I'd like to welcome again our members and our guests today. We will ask our guests at the end of the meeting what they thought about today and how they plan to move forward in Toastmasters. Our Toastmaster of the day is an exciting member. If you're around her, she generates a lot of energy. She's in multiple clubs as well, and we're so honored that she is in Entrepreneur Toastmasters Club. She brings a wealth of information and creative ideas for what we want to do in this club. So let us give a round of applause to our Toastmaster of the day, April Gillis.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster or Presiding Officer. And good morning, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. I am so excited to not only be a part of this club, but to serve as your Toastmaster of today. Today's theme is return on investment, ROI. Return on investment. The general definition, a ratio of looking at your net profit over the total cost of the investment to expect more from what you put in. Throughout the meeting, I will share different ways and different things to think about return on investment. Do you expect return on investments as an entrepreneur? Do you expect return on investment with your time? With your energy, when you study? Do you expect return on investment? Maybe you've heard it before, but have you ever asked yourself that question? As entrepreneurs and developing entrepreneurs, it's important to examine this concept and principle of return on investment. The first thing I want you to think about is the difference between expense and investment. They're very different. We won't go into that right now, but during our next break, I'll share with you the difference between an expense versus an investment and how to challenge yourself to ensure that as an entrepreneur, you're thinking about getting a return on your investment and not just an expense. At this time, I would like for our timer of the day to share her timing rules. For our guest, I'm your Toastmaster of the day. So I'm similar to an MC or mistress of ceremony. So I will guide you along with each portion of our meeting. Our timer today will give us the timing rules for each portion of our meeting. Our timer today is Frankie.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I will be using the Zoom background for timing. Is the speech 5 to 7 minutes? I don't see the time on the, oh no, we have icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes.
Yes.
So you'll see the green screen at 4 minutes, the yellow at 5, the red at 6, and you have 30 seconds to wrap it up. For table topics, which are 1 to 2 minutes, you have the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1.5, again, the red at 2, and 30 seconds to wrap it up. Do I time the feedback portion? I know we
Yes.
do.
Overall, we'll have 3 to 4 minutes for the feedback session.
Okay, so I'll be timing at 3, 3.5, and 4. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Toastmaster Frankie, we appreciate you. Now, hopefully during that time, you had an opportunity to think about expense versus return on investment. Before we move to our next section, I'll share with you a bit. An expense, a cost of an operation that a company incurs to generate revenue, but only for one fiscal year. An investment spending, which creates an asset that will help produce profits over a number of years. So again, when you're thinking about your business, you're thinking about your time, your energy, your money. Are you expecting to an expense with short-term or return on your investment? As we move into the next portion of our meeting, please make sure to take notes and give feedback to our next speaker. She's a great return on your investment if you tune in and listen in. Mariatu Brownie is our next speaker. She will be doing a pathway speech on from Motivational Strategies Level 1. She'll be doing her icebreaker. And for our guests, an icebreaker is your very first speech in a path. It breaks the ice to let us know a little bit more about you. Mariatu Brownie is an accomplished hairstylist and entrepreneur renowned for her use of organic products that have transformed the lives of many. Hailing from Sierra Leone, West Africa, her passion for hair has a long life pursuit with 18 years of professional experience in cosmetology. She has established herself as a highly sought-after stylist, particularly known for her creativity as an organic colorist. In this session, Mariatu will share her icebreaker story, highlighting her remarkable journey as a resilient entrepreneur who has overcome numerous challenges and adversity. Again, we present to you Mariatu, resilient entrepreneur, Mariatu.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Who among us has overcome adversity? I am Mariatu Brown, a living testament to resilience in the face of adversity. Originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa, my grandparents raised me until immigrating to the United States with my sisters to reunite with my mother. However, at 19, I left home, ready to take on the world. In my 20s, I faced significant challenges, including homelessness and abusive relationships. In 2000, I made a courageous decision to relocate to California to escape an abusive relationship and to save my own life. I enrolled in cosmetology school while working at various strip clubs in LA area. I obtained my cosmetology license in 2005, which led to opening my first hair salon following the next year. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I closed down the salon in 2008. But I was undeterred and determined to continue my education and pursue my college degree. In May 2013, I earned an Associate's of Science degree in Business Administration from Chaffey College. Despite going through a difficult divorce and taking a brief hiatus After giving birth to my second daughter, I resumed my studies in 2015. I attended California State University, San Bernardino, where I founded Two Organics Salon and Spa, and graduated in 2017 with a dual bachelor in entrepreneurial management and marketing. I furthered my education and completed my MBA in 2020. At the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, I saw an opportunity in Las Vegas, Nevada, and expanded my beauty practices there and launched my second location. Today, I take immense pride in being the founder and CEO of Two Organic Salon and Spa, a beauty salon that promotes non-toxic, holistic approach by utilizing organic products and promoting a sustainable environment for our clients and employees. With locations in Nevada and California, I am deeply grateful for the unwavering support of my parents and my daughters, especially my youngest, as I manage my businesses across states. Today, to all aspiring entrepreneurs, women in abusive relationships, and those facing homelessness and unlimited resources, I want to encourage you to never give up. Although the journey may be difficult, with discipline, hard work, and unwavering faith in God, anything is possible. If you want to learn more about my transformation from pain to purpose and how I have overcome obstacles, my self-published memoir, To Success, A Journey from Pain to Purpose, which inspires others with my story and resilience and triumph, is available on Amazon.com. Or you can obtain a signed copy during your visit to any of Two Organic Salon's locations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your amazing icebreaker. There's so many questions that I have and so much follow-up that I would like to do, but for now, let's take a few brief moments to gather your thoughts and take a moment to give our speaker feedback as she catches her breath, as she takes it all in, that she shared her amazing icebreaker for us to get to know her. At this time, we will now have 3 to 4 minutes of what we call round robin feedback, where we'll have an opportunity to give feedback. What did she do well? What do we think can stretch her for her next opportunity? And if we don't have time to take all of the verbal feedback, please feel free to use the chat and send it to her directly. The first hand I believe I see this morning is that Charles Ratney. Mr. Charles.
Good morning, everyone. One of the things I would suggest to all of you, if you've not had a chance to read her book, pick up her book and read it. It is such a journey. Mariatu, for you, your presentation was as great as I thought it would be. One of the things I will say to you is that you may want to make the distinction when you were saying that you have 2, people are may confuse the number 2 in that usage versus your name 2. Just a point of clarification. April, let's see who else has comments.
I am searching for hands. All right, Mr. Ernie Silvers.
Okay, well, I can't not comment on my friend and my colleague too. Oh my God, I love this woman. I can tell you that I've had her in class several times, and this is not the Maria Tu that I know and love. So I appreciate Tu's a little bit of nervousness speaking in front of the crowd on Zoom, but I thought you did an amazing job. And honestly, your speech, because like Charles, I've read the book, I know about the book. It was like a teaser trailer for her story. I can suggest to you that this woman is lucky to be alive, no joke. But I thought that she teased the story well. Again, I'll plug the book, shameless plug too. I'm still waiting on my signed copy, by the way. You delivered it well. I think that once you get some practice, it'll flow with you. You'll flow in your speech. But it's hard to watch somebody telling a story that you already know how it works out. You know, that was challenging for me, but I thought you did really, really well. So congratulations on your icebreaker.
And I took the liberty of sharing my screen, showing Maria Tu's book on Amazon, which is also on hardcover for $17. It doesn't show here, but I did see it on another page for $17 if you want the hardcover. Thank you. Go, Maria Tu.
Thank you so much. I also saw a hand for, I believe it was Frankie. And then guest Kenesha Moore.
I'm just keeping my hand up so that I'm in the top corner for timing.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. I saw our guest, Nicole Moore, unmuted. Okay, if you decide you would like to say something, come on back off mute. I saw Dr. Valencia, followed by Doris.
Grand Rising, Maria Tu, and thank you very much for your speech. I'm looking for your picture so I can speak directly to you. First of all, congratulations on your transparency, your bravery, and sharing your story. Knowing that you wrote so much more in the book, it just gave me the shock value to just listen more. Your pitch and tone, you elevated when you got excited. When you talked about escaping, your eyes got really, really big. And you didn't put your head down once when you spoke about your speech at all. Other than you may have saw you were reading notes a little bit, but you were proud of your entire story. You spoke with confidence. You had a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And you packed us with powerful punches and questions that are revolving in all of our heads of what next? How do we learn more? Can you give us more detail? This definitely could have been a 30-minute speech, easy, but doing it as an icebreaker was amazing. You left us with multiple stories, and I hope that we continue to hear from you. As far as eye contact, you gave eye contact throughout, but you did glance down, maybe to the left as if you had notes, but for the most part, you looked us in the eye. Audience engagement. The audience was engaged. Everyone leaned in, listened, looked. Someone turned their head like their ear was, like they were turning their ear. So you definitely woke up and kept the audience alive and engaged. Congratulations. If there was one point that I can give you for you to improve, it would be to share a visual. Some type of visual, either of Sierra Leone, where it's at, where it's located. Some of us know, but some of us don't. Maybe walk us through a couple of PowerPoint slides about your journey. Just something to improve, but overall the speech was dynamic, and I will give you 5s on all evaluation types. Thank you very much, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have the red light right now. Doris, would you mind giving your feedback in the chat to Mariatu directly? Thank you so much. Before we move to our next portion of the meeting, well, actually, we're going to go ahead for time's sake, move to our next portion of the meeting, which is our table topics. Our table topics of the day is an amazing, dynamic Toastmaster. You may feel my energy, but you're going to hear his through his words, through his visuals, through just so much that he brings to the table, not just as a division director, but what he brings in every area that he touches throughout our district. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our VPPR and a current District 12 Division Director, Toastmaster Bon Wang.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and our guests from all around the world. It's so good to talk about this topic because this is a major factor whenever it comes to the entrepreneurship. And thank you to April to have a thorough introduction what the ROI is about and how we can get along with this return on investment. So I will move to the question right away. What is the best return on investment that you have done from investing in your business or project? How did that investment pay off? I would like to ask Miss Nora. Nora, are you available?
I
thought
don't
she was
see,
here.
she
Okay.
may have dropped off.
Okay. Let me ask second one. Maybe Doris, would you like to answer this question?
Can you repeat the question?
Any investment or projects that you have done which you think you have gotten the best return on investment? And how did that in the ROI pay you off?
I would say my best return on investment, although it didn't happen until 3 years ago, was having my children. I have a problem child son, my youngest. He's the gift that keeps on giving. And 3 years ago, he had my grandson. And let me tell you, all of the pains and tribulation that this kid put me through for the last 24 years, when my grandson was born, his debts were paid. I love my grandson, and he, in my eyes, could never do any wrong. So when it comes to return on investment, grandchildren are just that. They are an investment that pays off in the end. Thank you for the question, Table Topic Master. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Morris. It's so true. ROI is everywhere, not only in the realm of investment and entrepreneurship. Definitely with you. Second question. 1 extra hour in your day, which you can use to invest in your personal interests, projects, or whatever it is. So what would you do? What kind of return of investment do you think you would get from this 1 extra hour? Ray Robles.
Thank you, Madam, or Mr. Table Topics Master. 1 additional hour per day, automatically dedicated to writing. I get up now normally, because sometimes I unfortunately go to bed way too late, and I've been reading on the benefits of extra added sleep. Well, that's a return on investment that I need to invest more in sleep. But aside from adding more time for sleep, if I had an additional hour per day, I would dedicate it not only to writing, but to the investigation of the topics that I'm writing about. Time is of the essence. Time is so precious. We think we have forever, but the answer really is we don't. Not in this lifetime, we do not. In this lifetime, we need to dedicate as much of our ambition, of our passion, of our thoughts toward that which we would like to see actualize. Whether it's a book, whether it's a song, whether it's a love interest, whatever the case is, we need to dedicate more time to that which we want to see manifested in our lives. I would like to see more love, more passion, more joy, more happiness throughout the planet. My way of doing that is to work on myself. As I work on myself, I feel better of myself. As I do so, I'm better to my friends, to my relatives, to those around me. If I'm in a state of confusion or frustration, what good am I serving? I'm not. So with that additional hour, I would dedicate to writing, again, healing and working on myself so that I'm more of a benefit to those around me. So I would make maximum use of that additional hour per day. Do I wish an extra hour for everyone? You know what? Depends on where they're at. For myself, an hour would definitely be dedicated to more writing and joy. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Ray. I definitely share your passion. I also like writing. And I think you answered that clearly. That's how to get this extra hour. You don't have to have this physical additional 1 hour, but with attention, with dedication, definitely you can grab this 1 hour every day. Thank you so much. Next question, I would touch upon some leadership. I would ask our district leadership, of course, our upcoming club president, Dr. Valencia. So there are many factors that we would consider before making a major decision, whether it's investment, for example, or taking on a leadership position. Dr. Valencia, would you evaluate the metrics of return on investment before taking leadership position, or just go for it? What would be your consideration, Dr. Valencia?
Thank you very much, Bon. As I reflect upon my life in the 10 seconds I was listening to your question, there's been multiple times that I've embarked on a leadership journey. I've been a principal. I've been an associate professor at a university in my early 20s, which definitely a leadership role. And now as club growth director. There are times in my life that I looked at a return on investment matrix. I thought about my family, the commute, the current leadership qualities and skills that I have, and what other people told me. When I became an assistant principal at the age of 23, I listened and thought about that return on investment matrix. When I became club growth director in 2022, I thought a little bit about the return on investment matrix. When I interviewed, and initially I was selected because I was slated to be division director for Division B. But there's that person inside of me that is a change agent. There's a burning desire inside of me to run to a problem, not from a problem. And when I do that, I follow my gut. I follow my instinct. I follow my faith. I don't think about what's outside the box, inside the box. I break the box out and then I put it back together again. So to answer your questions, I'm different. Sometimes I'll calculate it. And in my earlier years, I did by considering others. But now I go for it. I make it work. I try. And if I fail forward. Thank you very much. And back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
If I feel forward. Wow, such a strong statement. And I can see that in you through your work every day. Thank you so much, Dr. Valencia, for what you have been doing for us. Madam Toastmaster, do we have time for one more question? I see 4:41. Let me quickly touch upon maybe one question, if I may. Okay, I would like to ask one of our visitors, and thank you all the visitors for coming to us. I would like to ask Mr. E.T., if I may call you that way, Mr. Elios, right? Are you available? Or Ramhill, would you like to take a question? Or Samiha? Okay, seems so. Let me, Amanda, this is another visitor, I guess. Okay,
Please give me the easy one, all right? Easy one.
one question. Are you ready to take it?
Yeah. But please give me the easy one.
Easy one, okay, got you. I'm not sure this is easy. Amanda, if you were to start a business, what would be the consideration or the metrics? We talk about the metrics you use to track your success. I mean, are you considering the market share first, profit first, or the good of society to help people in need? So what would be your consideration when you start a business?
Okay.
For money or for just for interest, for good of the world? What is your consideration? Thank you.
This is a really interesting question for me.
Oh.
Quite difficult. Okay, I think for me to start a business.
She gets stuck.
I get stuck. Okay, how about now?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? No?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I mean, I never thought to start my own business. For me, if I consider to start my own business, I think it is really difficult. So I would consider if I can make profit, make money from this business or not. I think I'm not a great people, so I only can support myself. I need to support myself and earn money firstly, and then I will consider to help other people. This is my consideration. Okay, yeah, support myself firstly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. That's a very clear answer. This is a process. This is not a fixed pattern. That is very good thought. Thank you so much. With that, I would like to conclude this tip topics session. Thank you, everyone, for answering that wonderful, all these questions. Thank you so much. Back to you, April.
Thank you so much, our table topic master, Toastmaster Bond Wang. You did not disappoint with the questions. Again, you always feel the energy of your words, your questions, your thoughtfulness. So thank you so much. And thank you for all of you who answered. Before we go into our general evaluation portion of the meeting, I have another question for you. or a thought for you when it comes to return on investment. Again, do you expect return on investment? If you don't, I would encourage you to. Have you ever read Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30? It's the parable of the talents. There was an owner. He gave 3 people talents, or think of it as money in that time. To the first, he gave 5 talents. To the second man, he gave 2 talents. And to the first man, and to the third man, he gave 1 talent. The gentleman went on a long trip, so there was time for that investment. When he returned, the man with 5 talents had invested those 5 and had 5 more. The man who had 2 talents invested those and had 2 more talents. But the man who had 1 talent was afraid, and he did nothing but bury it and returned back the same 1 talent that he was given. The first 2 understood the expectation of a return on his investment. To the gentleman who had 1, the owner said, well, then you should have at least put my money and deposited it into the bank so that when I returned, I would have received it with interest. And that was Matthew 25, verses 27. Are you expecting a return on your investment? At this time, I would now like to introduce our general evaluator of the meeting. Our general evaluator is an amazing Toastmaster once again. You will always, always find an intriguing story. She always gets a return on her experiences in turning them into something useful for life and for all of us. So our general evaluator of the day is Toastmaster Rosabelle Young. Let's unmute you, and then we will
Oh,
pass.
thank you very
There.
much. Yes. Well, we had a great meeting. We started on time. We had 21 attendees. And then we had announcements, the nominations for officers by Ross Carter for our elections planned on May 17th. We had 4 guests. Nicole was having trouble connecting, but she was also with us at the beginning for a moment. And then our Pathways Awards. I wanted to apologize that Bond has also just completed level 1 of team collaboration. So he actually had 2 certificates also this morning. And everyone has done a lot. And thank you very much for giving your level awards to our Entrepreneurs Club. The Icebreaker by Mariatu was wonderful. We all sent her comments. It was a heartbreaking story. I have friends from Africa and in Africa who live in Ghana and Sierra Leone, and one here, a friend of mine.
Yes, I share. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know what a little bit of what it's like from my friends here and some in Spain who are from your part of Africa as well. Table topics, wonderful, sticking to the theme of return on investment, ROI, something that real estate students learn and business school students learn even in the first year, even in undergrad. And that's something we all have to think about, not only in our entrepreneurial endeavors, but also in our personal lives, as we heard from the answers to the questions presented by our Table Topics Master Bond. I think that underscores how Toastmasters applies to our lives outside of Toastmasters, and that the fact that we always have to think of how we use our personal time effectively to become better people, better human beings, and not just work. Because as entrepreneurs and being self-employed, it's sometimes inevitable to just to forget about personal life, and our personal life becomes work too. So, and even for those of us who are in academics or employed, especially teachers and educators, are very dedicated. I come from a family of many teachers, and that I can see that they brought it home, which was good for me when I was learning. But thank you all, and our guests especially. I'd like to, can I invite comments from guests at this time? Not Mr. Toastmaster? Okay. If I may hear from Amanda, if you can give us your evaluation of today's meeting, please. And if not, may I hear from Lizelle? If you can unmute and give us a few comments.
I enjoyed the meeting once again. I sat listening attentively to what was said and what was shared. And as always, I find value in attending this meeting. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And Samiha, can we have a few words from you about our meeting and your opinions as a guest? And thank you, Deborah. I think you're the one who invited Samiha.
I invited Samiha, and she commented in the
April.
chat, and she said, I enjoyed the meeting. It was an honor to be in attendance.
Thank you. And Ramhel, are you able to hear us? Ramnel? Okay, and then let's hear from Jamira. Jamira Moore, a few words, please.
I enjoyed the meeting a lot, especially because of I'm personally starting like small businesses with my family. And it was just really good to hear different sides of it so that I can take that as constructive and build towards what we are working towards.
Thank you, Jamira. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster April. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rosabelle, for that wonderful, wonderful general evaluation. As I close out as your Toastmaster of the day, I'd like to give you a closing thought. Rosabelle hit on something very important. As Toastmasters, it's important as entrepreneurs for us to reinvest in ourselves. Reinvest in ourselves, because when we take care of ourselves, we get a great return on the investment. And again, I encourage you, as in Matthew 25, verses 14 through 30, in verse 27, the gentleman who was afraid, he did not do anything with his talent, but hid it away. And it's Benjamin Graham who said, successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. Let's be like the two with the 5 talents and the 2 talents, because the person with the 5 talents received the 1 talent from the one who did nothing. So again, successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. I would like to return conduct to our presiding officer, President Ross Carter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, April. You
want
have,
timing report?
yes.
Yes, thank you for the point of order, timer report.
Okay. Our speaker spoke for 5 minutes and 21 seconds. So great job, Meritu, right on time. Table topics. Doris, you spoke for 1 minute and 3 seconds. Ray spoke for 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Dr. V spoke for 2 minutes and 12 seconds, and Amanda spoke for 53 seconds. Our general evaluation portion lasted 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Back to you, Madam President.
Oh, we are doing exceptionally well. And, you know, it seems like time flies in our club meetings. I don't know about you guys, but that hour goes very fast. And while we have 2 more minutes before we should wrap up, if anyone needs to leave, we definitely understand that you have a busy day ahead of you. But we would like for those who can stay a few minutes longer, because there are certain things that happen throughout the meeting, and it jogs questions. It jogs the need to make a comment about. And I'm glad Rosabelle took time during her portion as general evaluator to call on our guest to see how they feel about it. So if there's anyone else who'd like to make a comment, member or guest, let us know now what you thought about today's meeting. Just raise your hand. It looks like we covered everyone. I don't see any hands raised.
Frankie's
Liz.
hand is raised. Sorry, Madam
Frank-
President.
Frankie, is your hand raised as a timer or to make a comment?
No, I just put my hand up. I just wanted to comment, the return on investment got me thinking if I were going to answer that question. And I think the return on investment, the greatest investment you can make is in yourself.
Mhm. Yes.
That will translate into whatever you're doing. So if you take time to get coaching, if you need to, attend workshops, acquire skills, you know, the best return on investment in life is investing in yourself. That's all.
Thank you, Frankie. You know, that is, I believe, the point of the theme that April selected for this meeting. Investments can come in many ways, but when you invest in yourself, that's your primary goal. And many of us have so many other things that we're doing in life, and we thank you for taking time to be a member of this club and attending today. At this time, I would like to adjourn the meeting, but if anyone would like to stay a few minutes longer, we'll stick around and talk and network. So this meeting is officially adjourned, but we'll stick around for a few more minutes. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.